So here is another example involving secondary dominant 7, but this time instead of moving directly to a 5 triad, as you can see in this example, it moves to a 5 chord through a cadential 6/4. That part, this whole thing is what we call a cadential 6/4. So before we start part writing of the entire example, I like to spend a couple minutes just to refresh your memory on cadential 6/4. So cadential 6/4 is one of the 6/4 chords that you have learned, and it's called cadential 6/4 because it appears as part of this 5/1 cadence. So essentially there are two chords. What we're seeing here, 5, Roman numeral 5 with figures 6/4 going to 5/3. Essentially these are two chords here, but together these two chords function as the dominant. Okay. So I'll just use this bass over here on the right to demonstrate that. So what exactly is that? So it's cadential 6/4 to 5/3. You can think of it as two chords, and it's essentially a tonic 6/4 or minor 1/6/4 if we're in minor to a 5 triad. But why don't we just write it like that? Why don't we just write 1/6/4 to 5? And it's because it shows the function better. Because together, those two chords together, they always appear together and they function as the dominant that lead to 1 in the final cadence in a musical phrase. Okay, so now that we talked about the concept, let's talk about the details. So what notes do we need to write? So let's think about it. I'm sure you all know we all know a 5 chord. So if we use solfege syllables to represent that, so T is the 3rd, Re is the 5th. Okay, so I'm using this line just to show that my so is sustaining, and then T comes in above, Re comes in above, right there. Okay, so and now if we bring the T up a step to its upper neighbor, T up a step goes to Do, Re up a step goes to E there. So this is what we end up having. So, do, vertically, the first one. So, do, mi, going to so, ti, re, right there. And what I just showed you here is the notes you need in a cadential 6/4 figure. And why is it called cadential 6/4? And why do we use those figures? 6/4 with slashes to 5/3. It's to represent the intervals. So let's look at this. So to T, we know that's a 3rd, right? So to Re, we know that's a 5th, hence 5/3. And so to Do, that's a 4th. So to Mi, that's a 6. So that's why we have those figures, and that's why it's written like this: 5/6/4 with slashes to 5/3, because it's essentially a 5 chord that's embellished by the chord tones upper neighbors there. Dong dong ding, dong ding den. Okay, and now one more thing. When we put this in SATV, obviously we need to double something. Right? So when it comes to doubling, instead of doubling, when it comes to doubling, it's actually pretty easy, because so do mi, so ti re, you don't want to double any of the moving parts because you'll end up having parallels. So what we'll be doubling is the so. So you have so one more time, upper voice, do, down to ti, mi, down to re. So that's what the cadential 6/4 is about. Okay, so now we're going to put that into the actual notes here. And we'll use this example here, but for now, we are not going to look at the first one, because that will involve other voice leading issues that we'll talk about a little later. Okay, so we'll just use these parts, 5/6/4 to 5/3, resolving to 1 to demonstrate this cadential 6/4. So first, we need to know what key we're in. We are in the key of E minor. So in the key of E minor, 5 chord starts on the B. B. So using this concept, using this what we just talked about earlier, using that concept, we'll just put those notes. Things are getting a little messy. I'll erase this. Okay, so just use the space down here to take notes here. So we need a sol in scale degree 5 in the key of E minor, that's a B. And we need to double that. So we need 2 B's there. And in the upper voices, it's easier to think about 5-3 first because that's just a regular 5 triad. In the key of E minor, don't forget, in a 5 chord, we need to raise the leading tone. So in the up B, D sharp, F sharp, which is in the key signature. Oh, key signature. Let's go ahead and put our key signatures in. Okay, so B, D sharp, and F sharp. That's this part, the 5-3 part. Okay. And then you can, 2 ways to think about this. You can either count the intervals from B up a 4th will be an E. From B up a 6th will be a G. Okay. Or you can just use what we came up with, the D sharp and F sharp, and bring them up a step. D sharp up a step to E, F sharp up a step to G. Either way will take you to the same place. Or a third way, you can think about, remember we said cadential 6-4 to 5-3 essentially is equivalent note-wise to 1-6-4 to 5. So let's use that to double check. 1-6-4 in the key of E minor, that would be E, G, B, with B in the bass. So, yep, we got that right. B is now in the bass, and upper voices, we have E and G. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put them on the stage. So B, we need a B. Or just a sign. Oh, that should be a half note. So a B in the bass, and B will be doubled, so I'll assign that to the alto actually. Okay, so bass and alto are doubling the B, and we need a G, and we need an E. So I'm gonna, for spacing convenience, I'm gonna put G here in the tenor, and I'll assign the E to the soprano. And according to the notes we took earlier, E will step down to D sharp. And don't forget the sharp because that's the leading tone. You need to add that accidental there. And G will step down to the F sharp. And this time we don't need to include, something wrong. We don't need to include the accidental because the key signature takes care of that. The stem should go up because that's in the tenor voice. So B again in the alto, E in the soprano, G in the tenor, so do, mi, in this case it's minor, so do, mi, down to so, ti, re. Okay, so now we finished that. Let's resolve that chord to 1. So 1 chord in the key of E minor, we earlier figured out it should be E, G, and B. So the bass, I have no choice but to move it to an E. But I do have a choice to move it up or down. So up to me, I'm going to move it up to D. So to Do, B to E, and the tenor voice, G, F sharp. We'll take care of that later. Let's see if there's any tendency tone. Ding, bong, bong, so, ti, re. Ti is always the tendency tone that has to resolve to the tonic. So we took care of that. And in the alto voice, there's a B, come on tone. We love come on tones. So you just keep that come on tone there. Now the tenor voice makes it very easy. Now we have completed that 5-6-4, 5-3 to 1. The cadential 6-4 resolving to tonic. All right, so now that we finished writing this cadential 6-4, 5-3 to 1, let's hear it. So we are in the key of E minor. And this is the progression that we just wrote. doubled in the alto, 4th, 6th in the tenor, downward step. So that just makes the 5-1 cadence a little stronger. 5, 2, 1, and now adding the cadential 6/4. Just make it sound more final.